Dan, we're finally popular. We have 2 friends on a podcast in a row.
I'm not going to respond to that. You try and work with that in editing.
Wait a minute. I'm classed.
You didn't
as a
say we were doing the
friend?
intro. You didn't say we were doing the intro. You said be quiet. You never gave me a leave it. No, leave it in. Leave it in.
Welcome back to another episode of Potluck Culture with me and Dan. We have another guest this week. Sorry, my head's in my hands.
Your head's in your hands. Okay.
And I'm praying for our saviour.
Pray no more.
We have another guest this week. This
What?
week we put these out once a month.
What?
I mean, this is taking place within the week, so...
Everything's
True.
taking place in a week. That's like saying it's the
Get fucking
anniversary of the
owned.
year you were born. Every year is the anniversary of the year you were born. Ryan, why don't you introduce yourself to people?
Hello. I am Ryan, also known as Starbanger or Lord Starbanger. Apparently now classed as a friend because it makes James look better.
Sure.
And
mean,
tell
that's what
me
he
what
says
you do.
anyway.
What do you do? You do a
Procrastination.
Pokemon or okay?
Mostly. I mean, besides procrastination, I do stream a bit. Very irregularly. Hopefully going to regulate it a bit.
Go to the fucking natural. Never mind. Nope. I'm going to throw that line out altogether completely. I'm not going to finish that joke.
Wow.
We're moving on.
I rolled a nat 1 and I'm sticking with it. Okay, as we said, this is Potluck Culture, podcast where we take a piece of pop culture and talk about it with a few questions off the internet. This
that
week
what we're doing?
we're
Alright.
yeah, it is. And this
I
week
was
we're
told
talking
free
about-
ice cream.
I actually have ice cream waiting in the freezer from McDonald's, and
I
I
know.
forgot to eat it before we started.
Jen smacked me up the side of the head with a bag of potatoes, and next thing I knew I was doing this.
Next thing you knew, you were in your own home recording your audio separately. They have to send to me later.
Yup.
Funny how many times
It's called
that
Stockholm
happens.
Syndrome.
This week we're talking about Batman.
No.
The Cape Crusader, The Dark Knight, fucking Ben Affleck's midlife crisis. Many names. Ryan, what kind of exposure have you had to Batman? Like, what was your introduction to the Cape Crusader?
This sounds like a court trial where you're like explaining where you touch
According
it.
to my parents, my first word was Batman. No joke, not even kidding. My uncle used to love Batman when he was younger. He used to watch it all the time, and my first word wasn't "ma'am" or
Oh.
"dad." No, it was Batman.
That's very fitting, and I did not know that before we started. So
Yeah,
this is great.
Oh.
Dan, how about yourself? How did you get into Batman?
I just watched it when I was younger. I used to draw him a lot.
Which
And read the
Batman did you
comics.
watch particularly?
The animated series. So Kevin Conroy's my Batman.
Yeah, I think my first exposure was actually, it had to have been Batman and Robin. I think, because the first Batman thing I remember seeing is fucking Batman and Robin fighting the goons at the start of the movie in that fucking when they turn the museum into the ice rink and they're just Robin kicks the skates out from his feet. And I'm like, that's the man for me, or.
Robin was from Yar?
George Clooney, Dan.
A bad credit card.
So that, as usual, Dan's collected a few questions from the internet to keep the conversation going because I'm terrible at conversation, which is why I started a podcast with Dan.
It's true. I'm the podcast. These questions aren't really that good, I don't think.
That's the
just gonna
best
say
way
it.
to open the.
Well, I said it off camera, I'm going to say it on camera.
Good man. Well, we'll
No
get the
shit
ball
talk,
rolling anyway.
real talk. So the first
What do we
one
have?
is, who would win... Huh?
Oh.
Did you say something?
Oh.
No.
Well, that's not good. Well, what my turn? Who would win in a fight between Iron Man and Batman, and why?
What happened? What's the situation? Did they just walk into a bar?
That sounds like the start of a terrible joke. A Bat and an Iron Man walk into a bar.
You want me to set the scene of what happened?
Yeah, Dan. Okay, this is Dan's question now. Dan, what's the scenario? What's the setup here?
Okay, let's put it in like a Civil War situation, where Iron Man is like hunting down vigilantes. So, and Batman would be one. So let's put in that scenario.
They both know of each other in advance and have time to prepare.
Not initially at the fight, but let's say Iron Man just jumped Batman.
Yeah, he might know that he's Bruce Wayne with all this available tech, but he knows that like Batman's a vigilante that's been seen around Gotham, and he heard the rumors and stories, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And does Batman know of Iron Man? Or?
Well, Iron Man's gone public.
He
now,
would.
So
he would.
True.
Batman definitely has the upper hand in this situation.
Yeah. I mean,
very much so.
The knowledge of the fact that he's a millionaire with like a lot of money in tech, whereas Iron Man doesn't know that about Batman.
Yeah.
It's already quite the edge.
I'm trying to say
think
this
Batman
is just
would win.
1-on-1.
I mean, you see, outside of the suit, Iron Man can't do much, whereas Batman is like, he knows a ton of martial arts. He's practiced like with the League of Assassins.
I think that would be Iron Man's strategy though, is to just hurl every suit he has in this man, because Iron Man has a suit for every occasion, the same way Batman has a tool for every occasion.
True, but
Like,
then it's a matter of like, would Iron Man underestimate Batman, or would he?
I think he would. He would underestimate him. He might get like a level, say like a above average suit with him, like maybe like a Mark, like the Mark 35 is. Let me look this up, just so I'm sure. But I think the Mark 35 is the one I'm thinking of.
But even that, if you look at the Iron Man suit, it's more of a tank. It can't really do stealth or anything like that.
But if he
can't sneak up on
if he
Batman.
had the one from Infinity War, for example, the
Oh, the
one
nanotech.
that used nanotech, like that's a whole different ballgame.
Oh yeah, no. Mark 35 is not the one I was thinking of. Mark 35 has these fucking litter pickers on his arms.
I think you're taking a Mark 45.
I think it's just Mark 30 actually. But anyway, I digress. No, Mark 30 is something completely different as well. Never mind, I'm just bad at numbers.
Quick maths.
I think Tony would definitely underestimate Batman. He'd be like, okay, this guy has beat up a load of thugs and stuff, but at the end of the day, he's just a guy in a bat costume. So he would just go down with a single suit ready to go, I think.
Yeah.
And plus, depending on the version of Batman, he has like this gun that can shoot like an electric charge.
I was going to say, he might have he might have jammers that are just like in the form of like
jammers.
Dagger things. They can just stab into the sides of Iron Man and like short out the suit.
He would definitely have some kind of EMP technology on him.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, just like 2 circuit breaker things on the side that he'll like overcharge the suit to bring it down to nothing.
Yeah.
And then
So
Tony's in a coffin. You can just fuck him in the river.
True. So you kind of think that Batman would win in that fight?
I think
Probably
so.
yes.
Is there any way Iron Man could win?
If Iron Man doesn't underestimate him and comes with every suit he has, he could just overwhelm Batman with the amount of people. But at the same time, if that's the case, he can also get the Batcrawler involved and that kind of thing.
Or just one giant EMP, because I think it's like constantly shown that the Iron Man suits, are always susceptible to EMPs and electricity, which you think he'd
True.
Try build against and try prevent.
He probably would just make like an EMP like thing that just sends a shockwave out or something.
Yeah.
That's the technical terms. Like Batman's like writing this down now as he's listening to this podcast. Like.
I suppose if he went at Batman like the way he fought Thanos, on Titan.
I don't think he'd have as much drive to do that against Batman as he would against Thanos, so.
True.
Batman's not as much of a threat.
Dude in Bat
He's probably just trying to
versus
reprimand him.
dude trying to end the universe. Different motives.
They're the same thing in my mind.
Batman versus Homer.
No, ugh. Can't believe you said that.
I forever tainted this conversation.
Nah, it's time to move on.
Actually, do you think if Batman had to, do you think he'd kill Iron Man? Like, back against the wall situation?
I don't think so, because usually his number one rule is no kills.
And I think he'd understand that Tony's too much of a man of honor. He'd do the kind of Superman thing where he's just just back down, Tony. It's not worth it.
Stay down, final warning.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, but why doesn't Batman kill the Joker or any other villains in Gotham then? In your opinion?
Well, he said it himself a lot of times, especially in the Killing Joke, if
he were to do it, he'd
if he were to go down that path, he wouldn't be able to come back.
The Death of the Family, he says it. He says it to Red Hood. If he did
that's what it is.
He'd be no different.
Yeah.
See, when you kill a killer, the number of killers in the world stays the same, unless you kill more than one killer.
Yeah,
true,
but then
true.
I think Batman, he's saying to himself, if he starts with the Joker, he doesn't know how far he'll go. He'll end up
yeah, that's true.
he might end up breaking people's backs for stealing the purse, kind of thing.
It's like some random homeless dude steals a bit of bread, deliberately wanting to be thrown in jail. He encounters Batman. Oh, it's not my lucky day. Looks like I'm dying.
Imagine if you're in Gotham and you accidentally jailwalk, and next thing you know, fucking Batman rocks you in the side of the head, and leaves you a $30,000 medical bill.
You just hear his theme music in the distance. What's that? You just get absolutely steamrolled by the fucking Batmobile. Just smack. You get absolutely demolished by the Batmobile.
Oh.
Which film do you think is the most reasonable for if he was to kill one and only one? Which would be the most? Which would make the most sense for him to kill?
Definitely Joker.
Oh,
if he had to kill one.
Definitely.
I don't think he needs to kill a Joker if he cracked his spine and left him in a wheelchair. He wouldn't kill anyone.
That man can do the amount of manipulation he can do from just his talking.
I mean, if we're talking all of DC and not just Batman villains, then maybe someone like Darkseid, someone that's a universal threat. That would.
I don't think Batman. I don't know how Batman could kill Darkseid. That's the thing. Without help.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to probably by himself. No. But if he was given the chance, if he was able to, he probably should in that scenario.
Yeah. I suppose so.
True, would that mess with his psyche if he had to kill, like a god? Because Darkseid's like a new god, isn't he? Would that mess with his psyche a bit?
Just gets egotistical.
He just stands over him about to crush his skull, out with the new and in with the old, and stomps into his fucking skull.
I mean, maybe it's only humans he's against killing. Aliens, free real estate. That's how he vents. After a hard day of fighting crime, I was going to say
he has access to get to space with the watchtower and shit and the boom tubes. Do you think he just goes to a fucking planet where everyone is a pebble person and he just cracks them like eggs?
Sometimes on the weekend he just turns the watchtower around and fires off a giant ass laser into the distance, hoping to hit an occupied planet.
He secretly runs PETA, killing all those animals for no reason.
He just picks 6 planets. One has life. It's Russian roulette with the planets. Hope I hit the one with life.
He's drinking, driving around in a fucking spaceship.
It's Justice League is called. We have a code 47. Batman's drunk again.
It's alright, Damien will drive him home.
Imagine how the Justice League feels where, like, you're all basically, like, super beings, and the guy to your right is just a guy in a bat suit who, like, cripples, like, the mentally ill, and then he goes out of his way to make a list of how to defeat you. he thinks you're a potential threat.
A man in a leather gimp suit would fucking... a leather kink furry.
He's a furry.
Comes up beating the mentally ill.
Oh god. Batman, you can't just do that nowadays.
Selena Kyle does have a whip, so...
I had to be prepared.
They were a good match.
I just had to be prepared. That's probably his excuse.
Oh. Oh.
So yeah. Whenever you pit Iron Man against Batman, you're going to end up with Batman committing homicide or genocide.
Sometimes both.
Yeah, sometimes. Hopefully both. Maybe more.
So why do you think?
Good Wednesday.
So with that in mind, he's just a guy in a gimp furry suit who beats up the mentally ill. Why do you think people like Batman? Why do people obsess over him?
Well, because he's dark and emo, and everyone likes that.
Yeah, there's two camps of it. I think there's people who are like, oh, he's the pinnacle of macho manly. I'm gonna beat them with my bare fist instead of with Superman powers or Thor hammer kind of thing. And then there's the people who are like, oh, I like his storytelling where it's like the dichotomy between him and Bruce, which is the real man now, and the rogues gallery that are interesting. But I think you're either on one side of the spectrum or the other. There's not much of a mix.
So you think it's just because he's a man?
Well, for some people, it's just that like he's a human who just has a lot of money and is allowed to beat up people he thinks deserve it.
He's just Elon Musk without the suit.
Money is the law.
And let's say replace Iron Man to like Captain America, would be a bit more close to Batman when it comes to combat. Could he beat him in a combat fight?
Oh, definitely.
I think Batman probably wins hands down.
Definitely, because anything
he's
can
a super soldier.
Like, he can basically become. Sorry, go on.
No, it's like Captain America's a super soldier. At the end of the day.
Okay, yeah, he can punch a bit stronger, move a bit faster, but the sheer amount of techniques that Batman would have, I think, would just outclass him.
Yeah.
Plus all the technology versus one big shieldy boy.
Again, he would, even though it's not metallic, he would find a way to stick that shield to something and get it out of the equation straight away.
Sticky gum.
Yeah. Just a plunger on a piece of rope that he shoots out of a gun.
I get you.
Oh.
I mean, I'm fairly sure that Captain America uses like magnetism to pull the shield back to him.
In some suits, yeah, he has like those two like panels that like hold up the shield.
Yeah, I mean, like in Age of Ultron, there's literally one scene where the shield is stuck in one of the robots. He puts his arm up and the shield pulls back to him from the robot. So, I think there is some magnetics involved.
Why didn't the robot come back with it?
Well, it did. It came towards him, but then he just took the shield, let the robot keep going with the momentum, and I think it went off the edge.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well, I suppose the Batman it'll just be like fighting Deathstroke, wouldn't it?
Yeah, essentially.
Pretty much.
Just a campy version of Deathstroke.
Like a half version of Bane.
I mean, I guess it would be an easier version of Deathstroke because he's not using guns and he's not going to kill.
Yeah.
Or he'd be disinclined to anyway.
Yeah,
he does have both eyes.
It would just be like Bane Jr. to him.
That's true. I didn't think about that. He would have fought Bane, Killer Croc. He would have fought like
and Solomon Grundy and
more intimidating
King Shark and
he's gone up against
King
bigger
Shark.
Fish.
Heyo. So Batman got his name from using his fear of bats. using the same logic, what would be your superhero name? Come on the sink, man.
I was gonna make a joke saying commitment man, but
I was gonna say
I
that.
live with my girlfriend, so that's not really a thing. I don't know, Dan. What would be your legit fear that you'd like turn?
I was gonna say commitment man.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go loneliness boy.
So that's just sad. Everyone in Justice League would be afraid to leave you. Like Superman has to go to the bathroom. He's like, "Do you want me to stay with you or get lonely?"
That's why I'd immediately join the Justice League International, just so there's someone around, even if it's only fucking like fucking like Blue Beetle version 2 and fucking Guy Gardner sitting around. I'd just sit there. I'd hang around in the cafeteria of the Watchtower just constantly.
Just sign up as the fucking janitor. The world's most dangerous janitor job is for the Watchtower, just so you can have some friends.
Oh god, imagine for the amount of time that like people like the Flash have to eat because of the calories they burn. Imagine how much shits he has to take. You must be unplugging that constantly, and that's getting like shot out into space as well. Like there's no fucking septic tank on the moon.
What happens when the Flash eats something that just doesn't agree with him? He clogs up the toilet at super speed. But the sheer amount he'd have to eat and the sheer amount he'd have to put out, one toilet wouldn't do. He'd have to run to the next one, but then there's a trail.
I was gonna say he moves so fast that like between like shots of shits he's just going between the 5 stalls in that one bathroom. So you just walk into the bathroom like as say like fucking Cyborg just walked into the bathroom, he just sees all the fucking doors of the stalls like knocking around like pinball fucking paddles. And it's like, oh, someone had the bin to loo again.
Would he move so fast that not even the smell could like go anywhere besides the toilets? Like imagine if the smell just wafted through the hallways between each toilet.
Oh, if there's enough water to go through, he might be constantly flushing at the same time.
Oh god.
So and they probably recycle their water up there on the moon because again it's the moon. I don't think they have a fucking pipe.
Is the Watchtower not a giant satellite?
They have a pipe to the sea in tranquility, and someone's just like, no, that's not the real fucking ocean. That's not gonna be. It's just a pit of shit.
Aquaman's not happy with that one.
Aquaman swims in so much fish shit every day. Do you think he's ever having like a battle with the Ocean Master, and they're just facing each other, and then like a few bits of stringy like goldfish shit like squeak by his face? Wait, this went completely off topic.
If Aquaman decided to kill all the fish, like is that genocide? Like to him?
Well, unless if they're not wiped out, I'd say. But yeah.
I thought you could say if they're not white.
So you know how like you go really fast on a bike and loads of flies start hitting you in the face. Do you think if he's swimming really fast, a bunch of like fish shit hits him in the face or plankton?
Definitely.
And just the plankton hitting him in the face is like mosquitoes in the face.
That's why Jason Momoa's Aquaman's hair isn't blonde. It's like dark brown. It's just constant fish shit flowing through it every day. It's like flamingos. Why they're pink is because they eat those fucking shrimp all the time.
It's got to be unhealthy for his skin, like being in that much salt water.
Yeah, actually, his pores must
dermatology
be terrible.
Yeah, dermatology is like is out the window. He should be bloated. Actually, he should be fat. His body would absorb the water over time, and the fish.
Yeah, but if he has to be constantly swimming, I'd say that's why he's toned as fuck.
Does fishing make you toned?
Like, swimming makes you toned, yeah.
I don't. It's more of a cardio
Why doesn't
thing.
walking make us toned? Why can't like just walking from my bed to my chair make me toned? What is?
If you do it enough and fast enough, it probably would.
Because we live in a cruel, beautiful world.
Yeah, but also, like, you're fighting against the water constantly. So, like, that would have to fucking... Like, that's why his abs are shredded. He's never done a day of training in his life. He's just gone from room to room in his palace.
Do you think once he became king of Atlantis and he just uses, like, sharks or other fish to get around, like, he just loses all his muscles because he just gets lazy? He's like, yeah, bring me over here. And he just sits back on a whale and just brings him off. Oh, come on, we need you to, like, clear the oceans, and just up comes a fat dude, just, like, completely, like, let himself go, like, yeah, give me 5 minutes.
He's to tip the Uber fish driver.
Would
Batman
if he was swimming, could he just piss?
Rails.
Yeah, I'm more interested in how we led to here.
So, like, we went off the rails a bit with Iron Man versus Batman, but Captain America just completely gone.
I couldn't even remember the original question.
We're just pitching Robot Chicken sketches now
question?
for the next fucking DC thing. Seth Rogen, give me a call. Not Seth Rogen, Seth Green. What the fuck? Brain fart.
Said something.
Dan, next
Seth
question.
Green.
Dan, next
Okay.
question.
Who's your favourite Batman villain? Don't call me that. Don't call me that.
Hold on, I have a noise from upstairs.
Favorite Batman villain?
Dan, do you have one?
Scarecrow is mine.
Ooh. Ichabod Crane. Isn't it?
Ichabod Crane.
Isn't that his name?
No. Ichabod is the fucking guy from the Sleepy Hollow movie.
Oh, that's the Headless Horseman guy. He's called Ichabod something, I'm pretty sure. Or something Crane.
Jonathan Crane.
Jonathan Crane, yes, I know there's a reference to the Headless Horseman.
You better keep that in the podcast that you said Ichabod Crane.
Dan, everything gets let in.
I swear to God.
That's why I'm pregnant.
Your pull-out game is shit. That means you fucked yourself.
Not again.
Congratulations. Congratulations, you fucked yourself.
All grown up.
What do you like about Scarecrow, Dan?
I don't know, because he... Unlike the Joker, he actually mirrors Batman. Like, they both use fear to their advantage.
Well, that's the big thing about all of the rogues gathered. They all mirror an aspect of Batman.
Yeah, and some... Not all the version of Scarecrow, but some Scarecrow actually has a fear of bats. So he sees Batman as like, I have to overcome this symbol of my fear.
Yeah.
Scarecrow is the hero we need.
Yeah. And in the Gotham TV show, it's his father that I think sets him on that, because his father views fear as an evolutionary, like it's something that happened in evolution that never should have happened. Like fearing another thing.
Mm.
So it's just cool, like, psyche stuff. Bit more interesting than the Joker. Bit more interesting than the Joker, I think.
Yeah.
Who's yours?
I like the Riddler just for the sense of all the rest of these guys are like Bane's like I wanna fucking beat up Batman. I wanna be stronger. Like Joker's like I want to be morally corrupt versus Batman. Like fucking, as you're saying, like Crane is like I want to use fear against Batman the way he uses fear, and the Riddler's like I wanna see if I can do this crossword puzzle better than him. Like,
yeah. It's the whole thing. He wants to be smarter than Batman.
Just for the name alone of Edward Nygma, I think I gotta give it to the Riddler.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do like the whole aspect of the Joker knows for a fact that the Batman's never going to kill him, so that he'll always get away with what he wants, and only his sole goal is to make the Batman snap and to kill him. He doesn't care that he dies so long as it's the Batman that kills him. And I always found that interesting. Like, sure, it's a bit like he's a bit simplistic of, oh, I'll just kill people, I'll just blow shit up and stuff is. But he does it with such a clear goal of making Batman snap. The one man who refuses to kill, and he wants him to be the one to kill him, the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a good point.
I get that. Yeah.
Okay, who's the best Joker then?
Okay, what are we talking about here now? Are we talking? Can we categorize these into like live action and then overall?
So we'll go overall first, and then live action performances, and then for a third option, we're going to say who's the closest to being him live action wise.
I'm just going to put in my bit we said earlier that me and Ryan said earlier about our Joker picks, and you can say your one here now, Dan.
You want me to go first, basically?
Well, you just say yours and I'll edit around this so we can make it coherent.
Okay. So I think Mark Hamill's the best overall because of his performance.
Yeah, definitely agree.
Yeah.
But for live action, that kid from Gotham, Cameron Moynihan, is like if they let him go from the very start and went the whole way through, he would hands down be the best Joker ever. Because that like even in that last episode where you see he's like old and decrepit, but he's just fucking loving that he has a proper like he has Batman properly there to go against him. I'd love a TV movie of just what happens after that. Just one hour and a half, hour 20, just to get back to that world.
I've never actually watched the Gotham show. I've always been meaning to. I can't believe I haven't, because I was like, oh yeah, I'll watch it, and then it kind of slipped my mind for a while and I completely forgot about it.
It's worth it for that guy's performance alone.
Yeah. Because he plays two characters. If I remember.
Because there was a whole thing of like, oh, they were allowed to use the Joker, we're not. You're allowed to use him, but not his name, and then you were allowed to use him at the end, and because Warner Brothers was being fucky about it.
Ah, yeah, the usual.
Yeah,
the usual.
They never called him Joker in the show. They call him like Jay and stuff like that.
But you basically know it's him. He does everything that he can.
Yeah, it's obvious. So yeah. So who's your favorite overall, Ryan?
Overall, again, I'm not sure, because I like Heath Ledger is great in the live action. So is Joaquin Phoenix, but then also Mark Hamill's like just a whole different ball game as well. He really embodies it, kind of like what you were saying, James. He just really embodies the Joker.
Yeah, I like how like every time like a game or a new animated movie or something comes out, if it has Kevin Costner as Batman and Mark Hamill as Joker, you know it's just going to be a great time.
Oh yeah.
Kevin Costner?
Isn't that his name? The guy who plays Batman?
Kevin Conroy. Kevin Costner's fucking...
Kevin Conroy, yeah. I'm fucking terrible with names. I am so bad.
Kevin Costner... he's a punchable face. I just looked it up right when you said it.
He's a punchable face.
Who's this guy? he would...
I could punch that.
See, he's like, I can be rude to you anytime, but I'm not that much more famous than you are. Type of face.
He's like the guy who was in 3 commercials in your hometown.
He was in The Bodyguard.
Oh, well now he's just a saint. Leave him off. He can do what he likes.
He was in Man of Steel. He was in Man of Steel.
Was he actually?
Yeah.
Okay, well I brought it full circle. There we go.
Is he Superman's dad?
Oh, he's Superman's dad. He is.
Oh, that explains a lot. Because he looks very familiar. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
He's
good
in
loop.
Batman vs Superman. Guy's a punch festa.
That brings us back to Superman and Batman. What do you think of that dynamic?
Fuck him into a hurricane.
Do you think they're
Superman,
friends?
Batman.
Do you think they're friends? Like really?
They are.
Yeah. They're the best of fucking. Batman's just such a little bitch about it though.
He's too cool to admit that he's friends with him. He's like, I can't admit it, but we are friends.
It's like what you said, James. Superman would be the Sonic the Hedgehog, and Batman would be the Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh, definitely.
What do you mean? I fucking
That's
said this.
James's,
When did I say
this? That's your thesis. Remember? Was it yesterday we were recording?
This was totally irrelevant. This was me saying that Wario and Shadow are the same. Are the same equivalencies.
We'll let Ryan be the deciding factor.
I know Dan has extrapolated this to mean that every hero is fucking Sonic now, and every villain is Shadow. So he was like fucking. What were you saying? You were like John McClane or something.
Solid Snake and Pac-Man are the same person, according to your thesis.
You were saying they're the same person. I'm saying no, they're the equivalency in the storyline.
Yeah, they're the same character. I get it.
Okay.
Does Ryan agree though?
I can neither confirm nor deny that I agree.
He's going to be the Lois Lane who's going to run in the middle of our fight jams and say, "No, stop, Martha."
No, Ryan's the one we're arguing about Mario and Sonic. He like breaks up the fight and he says, "Guys, what about Bubsy?"
Oh, fucking bring up Bubsy.
Oh god.
God, I hate Kevin Costner. I don't even know the guy and I hate him. Fuck. He's just smug.
It's like he wanted to be. It's like he wanted to be George Clooney, but he couldn't be.
I can imagine him in a Hawaiian shirt in the middle of a restaurant throwing pineapple juice on me and telling me to get out. That's the type of energy he's shouting.
I can picture that, yeah.
Yeah.
He retires to Hawaii and he runs like one of those open front bars on the beach.
And just screams, "You know who I am?" So, no.
While then also turning around and giving like two like just turned 21-year-old girls cocktails and like throwing the house on, and he winks at them. And then they dump the drinks because they don't trust him and walk away.
You can clearly see something still half dissolved in it, like.
There's just a pube floating in there.
Oh god!
I'm gonna update his Wikipedia to say that he's dead. We like to do a little trolling here.
Hold on. Are we talking about Prince Philip now or what?
This very much
Prince Philip is a Wikipedia. We like to do a little trolling.
Every week we should pick someone's Wikipedia page to change and then see if it's still up by the next podcast.
Well, Kevin Costner. People just know by looking at him. You'll never bat an eye.
Oh.
Even his signature annoys me. God. Well, we'll go back on. What were we talking about, Superman?
I was just saying, what do you think of their relationship, Batman and Superman?
I think Batman admires Superman to a degree.
Oh, definitely. Like he definitely has they have a mutual respect. But Batman is just like, I'm not going to show you in front of all these like, I'm not going to show in front of Robin, or I'm not going to show you in front of fucking these Justice League youngsters I'm showing.
You see, like, I think the whole, like, they've both lost their parents when they were young. Like, Batman remembers his, Superman doesn't really. I think it's the whole fact that Superman doesn't have to hide in the shadows to fight crime. He can be open. He can be the whole light that people need type thing, whereas the Batman works from the shadows type things. I think he's always envious of that, but at the same time, he kind of knows that he can't be what Superman is because he doesn't have the power to do so.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the whole thing with Superman, where like people are like, "Oh, how can people be so stupid and not realize Clark Kent is Superman?" But like, people don't in the universe of DC, they don't know Superman has a secret identity because they think Superman's just Superman. They know about the Fortress of Solitude. They just think he's a guy who lives in the fucking Arctic or whatever in his fortress and comes out and saves us sometime.
That's the thing, because he's around as Superman so often to the point where there's no possible way he could have a life outside of it.
Yeah, he's just Superman.
Yeah.
I think he also compresses his spine and wears baggy clothes as well. He does stuff to like mask it.
There have been many Golden Age comics where Lois Lane finds out somehow and he just kisses her and she forgets.
Wasn't there one comic where
wouldn't you?
he used to use hypnotism to hypnotize people into not realizing that Clark Kent is Superman? However, someone hypnotized the entire city, and he had to hypnotize them to resist hypnotism, which meant that everyone knew he was Superman. But then just said, "Oh, it's Superman in disguise. I better not disturb him."
Yeah, he rolled for deception, and he got a nat 20.
He got a nat 1, but so did everyone else.
People had modifiers so that they got minus numbers, and he just got a 1. No, but like, even if they do know Superman is Superman, like, what are they gonna do though? Like, he can move at like the speed of a bullet, so they're hardly gonna be like, oh, now we know he has a day job, we can go commit crimes. It's like, no, he can still be there fast enough to stop you, even if he is.
Yeah, if anything, if everyone knew, like, oh yeah, Clark Kent is Superman, like, no one's gonna question when he suddenly zooms out of the office suddenly. Like, he doesn't have to waste time getting out of view of everyone and then sneaking out. Now he can just fly straight out the mat, like they've made a special exit for him to exit out and everything, like, if anything, if everyone knew his identity, criminals would be more fecked because he'd just be able to get there faster.
Mm. But,
it's probably to protect his mom.
Probably.
True.
Because they can kill his mom.
His mom.
His mama. But anyway, Henry Cavill, for the promotion of Batman vs Superman, went into Times Square in a Superman suit. Not suit, like a shirt. With glasses on, and no one recognised him. So...
Well, to be fair, I don't think much people would recognise Henry Cavill without the suit.
He's like a fucking Greek god just standing. You would recognise him.
I'd recognise he's a buff guy, but New York City is fucking busy. You could see people dressed as actual Superman, like 10 guys probably passed him dressed as actually Superman.
That's true. People walk around like Mr. Monopoly the whole time anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
If Superman went around with like the Superman suit on, but glasses, would everyone be like, hey look, there's Clark Kent in a Superman suit? Or is it, hey look, there's Superman with glasses?
People would look down, like look below his eyeline and say, hey, it's Superman. They look him in the eye. Oh, it's Clark Kent.
Wow, Clark, you look just like Superman.
Oh, Superman, you look just like
I feel
Clark
like them
Kent.
taking the piss out of him.
He's sweating profusely. And they're like, wow, it's a really good costume.
Like he does that thing where in like the sitcom thing where he has 2 dates at once. One is Superman and one is fucking Clark Kent, and it ends up with the thing where like, oh, he goes to he takes he has the glasses on when he's Superman, then at one part of the date, and they're like, oh no, he caught me. 2 dates at once.
Why does he wear glasses?
I think just to hide his face.
Is that just part of it? Of all things. I think you could have picked an eye patch.
Clark Kent is perpetually a burn victim with bandages around his face.
It's just like a Clark Kent
Like,
and
imagine-
Nick Fury mashup.
Imagine being the owner of the Daily Bugle and you find out your worker is not only Superman, but he's pretending to be visually impaired. Be more upset about the visually impaired.
You're paying this
It's like,
man
wow,
sick
you're a
leave.
liar as well.
You're paying
Okay,
this man
cool.
sick leave when he's up in fucking space battling Starro.
This man's robbing me blind. A man brings Superman to court
Ayo.
for robbing him blind with too many sick days. Oh wait, no, he'd probably bring him to court for secretly working a second job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a non-disclosure that he didn't.
Yeah.
He's Superman, he can't physically get sick, so like every time he took a sick day he was robbing him
Yeah.
of work hours. Okay, back to Batman. I have
Yeah,
a
Lawrence
question,
Fishburne is going to be
actually.
very pissed.
Do
No.
you think Batman's a good father?
A good father?
Hmm.
To
Do you know
whom?
he has his
To
Bat
whom?
family?
To some of them, I think he is.
Hmm.
But who do you consider his children?
Well, all the Robins, Barbara to an extent, depending on the continuity. Huntress a
I
little
think he
bit.
sees Barbara like a little sister.
No, I think
You know?
No, if you're going in the way
She
of
has a
like the
father.
usual one where Barbara ends up with Dick Grayson, then they're around
True.
the same age. So
I mean, technically,
I feel like
he actually has a son, like Damian Wayne.
I know that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
he now more recently as well has Jarrow, which is when Starro went berserk and then
Oh yeah.
like he blew up into pieces and stuff, and one piece grew back into a tiny Starro that Batman kept in a jar called Starro in a jar, which he nicknamed Jarrow, and then this Starro grew very attached to Batman, started calling him Dad, and then he got his own little Robin suit and tried to defeat the Legion of Doom by himself,
oh my God.
and then decided no, the Legion of Doom can't be trusted, and grew to original Starro massive size, took over everyone, all heroes and villains. Batman had to talk him down, and then he decided, okay, I'm going to be good now, and grew back down to his tiny size. And there's a panel of a tiny Starro in a Robin costume hugging Batman, and Batman comforting him.
So I guess the answer
Little
has
things.
to be yes. Now we can't say no.
What about Batcow? What about Batcow?
Like, yeah, sure.
Ooh.
You know, he beats his like adoptive children and his real child. Like, he literally fights with them and stuff. But he hugged the child. He hugged one of his children. You know, he's got to be.
Well,
a good
for
man.
for, for,
That's
for the
important.
likes of Dick Grayson and stuff, he like there's that line where he's like where they're like, oh, what was it? It was a Justice League thing where Wonder Woman was like, oh, your little fucking boy wonder, you're training him to be just like you, and Batman cuts her off and goes,
yeah.
no, I'm training him so he doesn't end up like me.
I
Yeah.
do remember that line from somewhere. Yeah, he always tries to tell his sidekicks and whatnot to always be better than him.
Except fucking Jason Todd, he
Jason.
screwed that kid over big time.
Oh yeah.
That boy is irreversibly damaged.
Then again, was that his
I don't
fault? I
think
mean,
Batman's to
the
blame.
Joker kind of beat him, nearly killed him.
Yeah.
Well, technically, he
ne-
did kill him.
But like, I get Jason's thing of like, why didn't you fucking retaliate hardcore? You could have at least broke the man's legs and made sure he never moved again in his life. Because that poor boy, he was the first victim of cancel culture. People rang into
Was, he
DC
actually
Comics to get him killed.
Didn't it turn out that it was it was actually like a fraud thing?
Oh yeah, no, there's
It
a
wasn't
story that
counted
there's
up
this
properly?
one guy who had like who set up an automatic ringer thing to ring it every minute for like
Yeah.
to win it like 5 times every minute.
Yeah, there's fraud votes going on.
What?
Do you not know how they decided Jason Todd's death?
No.
Oh, the
Oh.
comic book just before he died, the one before, was left on a cliffhanger, and it was literally like, call these 2 numbers whether you want Jason to live or you want Jason to die. And one guy just the story goes that one guy really hated Jason Todd or just wanted to manipulate the votes or whatever, and he set up like an automatic machine to like ring the death one again and again and again. And that's why Jason Todd died in the comics. He could have been saved, but people on phone calls were just like, "No, fucking kill him."
Could you imagine if that was done nowadays? How amazing! Like, it would be abused so hard to the point where it'd probably crash. Like, if it was done online, it would definitely crash the servers.
But there's an X-Men thing going on like that now. They have like a bracket for like who becomes the next member of the X-Men or something, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, which is
Really?
they're like doing votes every day that are like, and then there's also one on DC, I think, that has a new series you get to see run. So there's like a bracket for that as well. I might be mixing up those 2 things. I don't think the X-Men one might not have a bracket, but the new comics one definitely has a bracket where like you can go online and vote each day for like which of these 2 comics you think should get made, and then which of these 2, and it gets brought down to the final 2.
yeah.
Which I am all for, that kind of thing. I love that kind of thing in comics where you can just like, where they can obviously say like, guys, what do you actually fucking want, rather than them starting like 50 million fucking series and then seeing which one sells best.
So, this is an amazing discussion about Batman, am I right? Batman for next X-Man, here we go.
Oh,
what kind of, like,
It's a group free.
mutant powers would he have? Like, would he pull out claws like Wolverine? Would he, like, have, like, sonar hearing like a bat?
well,
Would
that
he just
was in
fly
that
like a bat?
in the Amalgam comics in the 90s. There was a series, like a mini series between DC and Marvel. They joined together and they made Amalgam Comics, which was like an event where these two entities smashed the two worlds together, and one of the characters was a Batman Wolverine hybrid character, and then there was also he basically Batman with claws and shit. But there was another one that was Bruce Wayne, Agent of Shield. That was really cool as well.
Speaking of
there's like
worlds colliding and stuff, there's the Batman Who Laughs comic. Is about like a bunch of the worlds are all collapsing together.
Elseworld stuff for Batman is like the top tier of comics at DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the that's the one you're on about where it's Bruce who dies and the parents become Batman and Joker.
I think that's
Flashpoint.
Or there's one where it's like there's like 5 different Batmans. There's like the Batman Who Laughs, which is basically a Joker like Batman. There's like a Batman who's become like the death version of Flash and stuff like that. And there's like a Batman who's like Kryptonian and stuff like that. And there's this bunch of different versions of Batman, all led by this Joker version of the Batman.
Oh yes. I remember that now.
Yeah.
There was the time that Batman got a Red Lantern ring once, didn't he?
Probably. He got a
green
one.
A white one and a black.
He definitely got a green one.
I do think he's gotten a white one before as well.
White one is that? That's not Hope. Hope is blue.
Yellow. He got the Yellow Lantern, I think, because Fear. Him and Scarecrow.
Oh yes. Yeah, Batman's.
But I think at the end of that storyline, he got the White Lantern. Yeah.
I mean, he was affected by the Black Ring. I'm not sure if he got one or if he was just affected by one, because
he might have just been taken over by it.
Yeah, I think he was only taken over by the Black Ring.
I'm not well versed in that, but anyway.
I think the Black Ring resurrects the dead, and Batman was dead at the time.
Oh, that must have been it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to be dead to do.
He was possessed by it. I think all the Justice League was dead at the time.
Because there's only
there's
only one Black Ring, I think, and that person basically becomes the Grim Reaper for lanterns.
Yeah, and I think the white one brought them back.
White one is life and the black one is death.
Yeah, because I think that's the Blackest Night storyline that's in.
Mm-hmm. Do we have any more questions, Dan?
There's 2 left, and one is, what's your favorite Batman comic?
I'm trying to think of.
I haven't really read any of the comics, really. Like, I used to watch some of the videos where they'd go through the panels and stuff like that. There's this one channel that would does solely just comic panels, and they'll go through comic series and stuff. But in saying that, it's been a few years since I've watched any of them, so I honestly don't remember.
The Court of Owls storyline was really fucking good. I really enjoyed that within like the last 10-20 years worth of comics. But the Killing Joke has got to be some of the pinnacle of Batman writing.
See, the animated movies and series of those comics, are they like really faithful to it, or is there slight stuff changed?
The Killing Joke gets fucking massacred. That whole thing with Barbara and the Killing Joke is not. That whole prelogue has nothing to do with it. It's nothing to do with it. It's literally just that was just put in to make it feature length.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Dan, do you have a favorite Batman comic?
I think mine used to be the Killing Joke, but it might be Long Halloween now.
Oh, isn't that the
one
where
very well written one?
The Two-Face origin one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Either that or Hush.
Hush is good as well. But
both
Brian,
of
have you
those are-
heard the story of the Long Halloween?
I haven't. No, I've seen the movie for Hush, but I haven't heard anything about the Halloween one.
Long Halloween is really great. Calendar Man is in it actually. He's like the Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs actually. They were because someone starts killing people on holidays, different holidays over the year, and he has to he goes to Calendar Man and he's like, what would motivate people to do these on holidays specifically, and shit like that. And it's kind of also a Two-Face origin story. It's a great read if you can get to it.
I've just seen the trailer for that. Actually, I think they're about to make the movie for that soon.
Oh, actually, yeah. That's another good question. What's your favorite animated movie for Batman?
Ooh.
So like the DC Warner Brothers animated universe.
That's tough.
I think is mine cheating? I wonder. Is Mask of the Phantasm cheating?
No, that works. That's part of the universe.
Yeah.
Mark of the Phantasm.
That was pretty good.
It was very good.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Well, if I had to pick a recent one,
I do like Hush, and I do like some of the other ones that will come out, but it's hard to tell which one would be favorite because it's going off memory and what I remember.
I think The Dark Knight Returns Part 2 was my favorite.
Is that the one where Batman's a lot older? He goes up against Superman.
Yeah, that's great. That
one is really good. I do like that one.
There's two movies in it. It's split into two. Like the first one is establishing this Robin girl, but the second one is basically the plot that inspired Batman vs Superman. Like, so it's really cool.
Batman and Superman should have been.
It's also funny because you see Superman walking in the White House gardens with Ronald Reagan because the comic was made in the 80s.
My favorite piece of media.
Like the whole side thing of like Russia full on just like let's launch a nuke at America like as well really shows because it was written in the 80s like the fears they had back then.
Yeah.
Dan, and for our final question, what do we have?
Now this is a good little debate. Is Batman a Republican or Democrat?
Libertarian.
Communist. Have you ever seen The Red Sun?
Wouldn't that make him anti? I think as Bruce Wayne, he's a bit more centrist. He just goes where the money is for the facade of it. But politically, I'd say he'd be more for the helping of people with the likes of Medicaid. I don't think.
Is that your final answer?
Sorry, go on.
You don't think Batman's a libtard? That's your official quote. Okay, I get it. I feel like Bruce Wayne would be Republican, like he'd have to be, because of the business side of things. Because his business, I think, is a bit...
That's why I was saying he'd be more centrist, or he wouldn't disclose it very much. He'd just turn around and be like two women on his arm, and he's like, "I go where the money goes."
Yeah.
What a great fucking question to end it on, Dan.
Yeah, probably it wasn't the best question.
Anyone else think of any questions to do with Batman? Ooh, actually, here's a good one. Seeing as we were talking about the Bat family. Who's your favorite Robin?
I'd definitely say Damian Wayne. I think just because he doesn't care about killing, he just ups and does it until Batman intervenes, and then he slowly goes against killing and stuff like that.
I really like the dynamic between those two is the best Batman Robin dynamic.
Yeah.
Because even when Damian first became Batman, there was that time that Batman was he dead or was he missing? But anyway, it was Damian and Dick Grayson took over the Batman role, so basically it was backwards, where Damian kind of became the leader and Batman was like his sidekick as Dick Grayson. and he was the more lighthearted one, and Dick Grayson was going around like, get in the fucking car.
Brilliant.
It was really good. That's worth a read as well, Ryan, if you get a chance.
Yeah, I definitely will. I'll definitely try to get along to it anyway.
Dan, what about you? Who's your favourite Robin? Boy Wonder.
Now you see, I'm torn here because I like the idea of Red Hood.
Yes.
That he's a wronged Robin, but I don't like Jason Todd because he's awfully whiny.
You see, I feel like when the whole like the explosion goes off and he's left for dead, I think he stops being a Robin at that moment, and he's no longer counted, and that's when he becomes a good character.
I like how the same way they the villains kind of mirror Batman, all the Robins kind of do as well. So like the kind of tactical genius side goes to Damien. I think Jason Todd goes the kind of tortured soul route. Dick Grayson kind of goes the leader and comforter to all because he started the Teen Titans. And Tim Drake. I think he's known as like the best detective in DC Comics, isn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
Actually, no. There's one person better. Detective Chimp is the best, canonically the best, but second is Tim Drake. Out of the Bat family, he's the best.
I think Tim Drake's isn't he the favourite to become Batman? Because he's the closest to like Bruce Wayne.
Well, they've all become Batman at some point.
No, I mean, like, I think Batman. I think Bruce Wayne even said, like, if he was to die, it has to be Tim Drake become Batman because he's the closest, like, detective-wise and fighting-wise and stuff like that. He's the best option.
Well, that's why I think. That's why I think the Bat family is such a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the kind of thing is, they don't. Once he's gone as Batman, they'll realize eventually there doesn't need to be a Batman because there's them.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a wholesome way to put it.
Yeah.
So you could say that through Batman's family getting murdered, true crime, he can't do family through it.
The real Batman was the friends we made along the way.
You know what? Maybe Mephisto is real.
There is one Batman technically we haven't talked about is Batman Beyond. Terry McGinnis.
Oh,
there's a few Batman we haven't talked about. We haven't talked about Azrael at all.
Is Terry his biological son?
I think he was a clone.
He was a clone. Yes, there was a clone. I'm pretty sure.
I think they got his DNA and then mixed it with just a random surrogate woman or something like that, and basically gave birth to his cloned son or something along those lines. I think it was. Yeah. Was it Amanda Waller who did it?
Oh, okay.
Actually?
Yes, I think Amanda Waller did it. The same way Palpatine willed Anakin into existence. Amanda Waller willed Terry into existence.
I can just imagine Amanda Waller with a cloak up, chanting in Sith Lord just over a blue flame as she conducts some fucking Sith ritual magic.
Oh, she goes to fucking Terry. Have I ever told the story of Dark Captain Boomerang the Wise?
It's not one the Justice League would tell you.
Oh. And with going into Batman of the Future, I think it's time to fucking finish this before we're that old.
True. So we're at... Yeah.
So, a little wrap up here. Ryan, thanks so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you very much for having me.
Again, let people know what your stuff is, what you do.
Yeah, so for the most part, I go on Twitch by Lord Starbanger. I am going to be starting streaming a bit more regularly. Mostly do Dead by Daylight. Bit of a Evil Genius too, hopefully soon. I got that recently. Cool. So yeah, come by and hopefully I'll be streaming.
Yeah, we'll have all this stuff at the top of the description. Go check it out. And as always, you'd have Sorry. This soda is not sitting well with me. We'll have mine and Dan's stuff down below as always, and there'll be links to other podcasts at the end of this. So, any last words, boys?